All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm back to doing these recaps on the laptop, which is nice. The only bummer is single monitor. You know, the nice thing about doing it on my trading station back there is I don't have to do the whole pure into the matrix thing like you're looking at right now. Gotta fix my hat. My beanie's a little crooked there. So anyway, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Stocks to Trade weekly recap. Glad to be back. It continues. We talked a little bit about this last week. Last week I was in California. If you were here for the weekly recap, some of the comments, which hey, I love opinions. Everyone has a right to their opinion, especially in trading. I mean, remember, so much, especially in short-term trading. It's your opinion versus my opinion, and that's why you build a trade plan. That's why you build a thesis, and then you trade off of it. And often you're wrong, and often you're right. And and if you minimize the time, if you minimize the losses when you're wrong, maximize the gains when you're right, you'll win over time. But I remember last week, some of you were razzing me a little bit about being so bullish. And again, hey, I'm a big boy, I can take it. But some people were like, well, geez, Tim's so bullish. And what happened today? What happened Friday? All-time highs on Friday, all-time highs again today. Listen, there's two sides to every trade, okay? All stocks go down at some point, okay? No stock goes up forever. All stocks pull back, all stocks consolidate, all stocks have profit taking, but I just think, again, especially if you're new, and, my thought is, I might be wrong. If you've been trading for 30 years and you're watching this video, thank you. If you're a seasoned trader and you're watching this, I appreciate the fact that you're here to hear what I gotta say. I've been doing this for 13 years now, but if you've been doing it for 30, I appreciate that you're here to hear what I have to say. But I'm assuming that the most of you are new to this. And I tell you, it's just tough to be short bias out there, man. All stocks go down, but you can also, there's a lot of ways to make a living. And in the wise words of Judge Schmales, right? Was it Judge Schmales in Caddyshack? Or was it? I'm pretty sure it was Judge Schmales that said the world needs ditch diggers too, okay? If you dig ditches, hey, that needs to be done. That work needs to be done. But in this market, in 2019, in 2020, I feel like shorting is like, you might as well be digging a ditch to make a living. You can make money digging a ditch, but it's hard. It's hot. The sun's beating down, and it's hard work. You get a paycheck at the end of the day, but it ain't easy. So, anyway, nevertheless, welcome everyone, and let's get to work on the watch list. So, as always, I like to just kind of clue you in. If you're new to this, be sure to subscribe to the watch list, okay? It's free. Every Sunday it goes out. Again, it's free like free, baby. You can't beat free. So, in my opinion, no, listen, you can unsubscribe at any time. But I'm proud of it. I put a lot of work in every Sunday to build this watch list and get it out to you. So, I mean, subscribe. It's free. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. Okay? I mean, it's easy. When you get the email, there's an unsubscribe link at the bottom. So, that being said, let's get to work. NK, first one on the watch list. Opened up shaky, went red to green into the 2 p.m. window, one of our favorite times to trade. The plan was low price stock breaking out on yearly chart with news and above average volume, more of a chart idea versus fundamentals. One of the biggest things is looking for simple stuff. I mean, high volume breakouts. And then it closed pretty much. Let me jump back to the 2-day because I want to show you what I was looking at this weekend. Okay, why was this on my scan? Why did I care about NK? All day trend from 225 to 3. Okay, so this is Friday. So it's an all day trend. It closes basically at the high day. I mean, it did pull back a little bit, but closes at the high of the day. Closes at a 52-week high. It has high volume. Look at that volume. You know, Friday was the highest volume day in 9 months. So you got a breakout. You got high volume. You got a stock that closes at the high of the day on Friday afternoon. That's 100% a watch. We almost always look for those red to green moves. So this line right here is your red to green, your previous day's close at 289. Stock gaps down. What's a red to green move? I mean, you buy when it goes green on the day. When it breaks that previous day's close, you could probably risk down in the VWAP area. That's 25 cents of risk. And, I mean, the thing hit 340 in after hours. And, I mean, it's pulling back a little bit, but no volume in after hours. So, I mean, I think I'm pretty open when these ideas work and don't work. I think NK was great. I mean, you could have, and especially, you love it when these stocks go green in the afternoon. Because that tells you the buyers are in control, okay? Profit taking, some kind of shakiness in the morning, but the buyers take over. They push it green into the afternoon, and you see what we got. I mean, 340 at, a couple minutes after the close. So, same plan tomorrow. I would look for a weak open red to green tomorrow as well. Arlo. I think this is one of the ones that didn't do anything. Yeah. So Arlo, no trade here. Okay. Today. It's still in play all week. But low volume gap up and then an all day fade. But why? Why did it fail? Hey, look at that line. Look at where I'm hovering. I like their business. Okay. This the home webcam Wi-Fi stuff is hot right now. But I'll tell you this again, I'm not afraid to admit mistakes. I think that's one of the biggest things that you see in so much stock trading stuff, education, this idea that you have to be right, this ego stuff, okay? Speaking of the ego, we've been doing a lot of stuff on the Steady Trade podcast with Kim Ann Curtin. Check it out. I think the podcast is awesome. But what I'm getting at is, you know what? Kind of a crappy idea. I mean, look at that. Look at all of that resistance from back in the spring and summer. I should have waited to put this stock on the watch list until it was a confirmed breakout. So why did Arlo fade all day? It spiked Thursday and Friday into resistance. Resistance held, faded all day. You know? I'm not afraid to admit that maybe I picked a less than ideal setup for this one. So now if and when it breaks that 450 area, 475 area, I think you're headed towards filling the gap. But I swung and I missed. You know? I compare trading to baseball. I compare trading to a lot of sports. You know? Remember, if you get a hit 4 out of 10 times, you're in the Hall of Fame. So if you get a hit in Major League Baseball 4 out of 10 times, you're a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame. And you know what? I struck out on Arlo. So QUE. Ooh. Not the best volume, but the pattern's there. Again, sorry to be redundant, but it broke out on Friday. It closed at the high of the day. Not the best volume, I admit, but this thing opened green, trended all day, you know, up $1 a share on the day. Kind of a slow mover. I would prefer way higher volume, but the pattern's there. You know, I mean, 1,000 shares isn't ideal, but it's not terrible either. So QUE worked. I feel like QUE worked. Bloom Energy had an early spike in pre-market, pulled back, and ended up a little choppy. I still think Bloom should be on watch. Cool technology, and it has a gap to fill. So keep Bloom on watch all week. And then the last one was LMPX. Kind of a risky idea, but I tell you, if LMPX would have broke Friday's highs, it would have been off to the races. I think, if anything, I feel like MIRM stole LMPX's thunder. I think if we wouldn't have had this crazy move on MRIM, I think LMPX would have been way hotter. So, all right, let me jump over some Q&A. Hello. The red to green pattern works really good lately. It's worked, Joey. The red to green has worked great for years now. So, can you explain the trade order? Adanya, can you elaborate? I'm not sure what you mean. Can you explain the trade order for long? Adanya, please elaborate. How long does it take to get my broker account started to trade and funds to transfer? Hunted, it varies by broker. I hate this matrix thing. There we go. There, I like that. Okay. I hate seeing the whole, or it's not the matrix, it's the inception. Hunted, it varies by broker, but if you get all your paperwork in, usually there's like a 3 to 4 day period, because, especially if you're funding by ACH, if you're funding your account via ACH, they usually lock up your funds for like 3 to 4 days because they don't want you. Basically, you can reverse an ACH where if you wire them money, okay? So if you're in a big hurry, and if you're in a big hurry to trade, which I don't think you should ever be in a big hurry to trade, you can wire funds to your broker and it's quicker. But if you do an ACH, it's usually 3 to 4 days. So I love the watch list. Thanks a million. Thank you. Can I ask, a spreadsheet should look like to track trades, basically the column headings. Charles, I tell you, spreadsheets are awesome, and I'm trying to, let me get you a link just for the brevity to not spend too much time on it. Here we go. This is an old post by Michael Good, but it's a good one. Ooh, it's a good post by Michael Good. Michael Good's a friend of mine. He's a great guy, great trader. Charles, I put the link in chat. It's an old post, but it's good. Just because it's old doesn't mean it's not useful. So check out that post by Michael Good. What about PCG? Ronnie, I don't like PCG. It just, you know, the biggest issue I have, so most of what I do, I'm primarily a technical trader. I'm trading chart patterns, okay? What drives me nuts about PCG is there's just nonstop news flow. Sometimes the news is good, sometimes the news is bad, and literally minute by minute. I mean, minute by minute with PCG, you might have an article that's like, PCG's gonna get bailed out, everything's great. And then 2 minutes later, PCG's going bankrupt. Then 5 minutes later, PCG's getting an investment from a huge hedge fund. Then 10 minutes later, PCG's gonna get shut down by the California government. So I haven't traded PCG ever since the beginning of this bankruptcy stuff around the wildfires, because I can't chart something that has news coming out every 5 minutes. Now, it's volatile, okay, but it's not my style. And I say avoid it, because and this goes for long or short. I mean, you're long PCG and 5 minutes later, bad news comes out. You're short PCG, 5 minutes later, good news comes out. So I say avoid it. I'm just not a fan of these stocks with nonstop news flow. Please explain how to play the red to green pattern. Well, I mean, NK is a good example. So this is a stock that was up big. Look at that. Look at NK up green every day. Green, 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 green. So you're looking at NK and you're like, wow, this stock has gone from $1.40 to $2.80. It's green every day. I mean, literally every day, NK is green. So you're looking at this Friday afternoon and you're like, man, do I really want to buy a stock that's green 6 days in a row and it's double? Okay? NK had doubled on Friday afternoon, was green every single day for a week. And you're looking at it on Friday afternoon and you're like, geez, do I really want to buy this thing up here? So you say, no. What I'm going to do, I'm going to wait for this stock to prove itself. How does a stock prove itself? When it opens red, so now the profit taking comes in. You get some of the long-term shareholders start selling because they're taking profits. I mean, the thing's up 100% in a week. The buyers are back in control when it breaks green on you. I mean, NK was down to 225 at 10 a.m. I mean, it was down, 50 cents a share. That's a lot. down 50 cents a share on a $2 stock. That's a big move. But then notice how it bases and then pushes green into the afternoon at 2 p.m., the best time of the day to buy these types of things. Buyers are back in control. So again, the idea would be you'd be buying at 3-ish. You'd be risking VWAP, 275-ish. You're risking 25 cents a share. Your goal would be 3-to-1 risk to reward. You'd be selling it like 375, you know? That would be the goal. So again, if you bought this red to green today, let's talk hypothetical. Your goal would be 375. Your stop would be 275. You're risking 25 cents a share to make 75 cents a share. Then, if the stock fails, especially tomorrow after gapping up in pre-market, maybe you move your stop up to break even. So the stock worked. It spiked into the close. It's holding above in after hours. Let's say tomorrow bad news comes out or whatever. It drops to 3. You stop at break even. Now, let's say you're not in NK. So you're like, well, Tim, I didn't subscribe to the watch list. You know, even though the watch list is free, even though you tell me about the watch list every week, I still didn't subscribe, so I didn't know about NK yesterday. I didn't know about it. You're telling me it was an amazing red to green today, but I didn't see the watch list because I still won't subscribe even though it's free. Everything I just said is in play tomorrow. Stock closed at 325-ish. If this dips and does exactly what it did today, that's your trade tomorrow. Every day this stock goes green, it's a red to green type setup. What happens when you don't reach your target? You know, if the stock, so let's say the stock spikes, starts fading back. You know, if the price action is weak, take your profits. Or stop out for break even, you know? So if your goal So in the instance of NK, if you enter, your goal's up here, the stock spikes, starts to fade, just stop out at break even. I mean, don't overstay. A scratch trade is not a bad thing. You live to fight another day. You break even, that's part of trading. That's the biggest point I'll tell you. If you try and force profits, you're going to struggle. And if you're still holding down here, good luck. Don't be afraid. If it's stock, you're in the green, it fades back to your entry, just take it off. I mean, especially in this day and age, I mean, most of you probably are trading at commission-free brokers. Who cares if you break even on a trade? Whoop-de-doo. Especially if you didn't pay any commissions. You tried the trade, you entered, you put the risk on, you had a plan, and it didn't work. Big deal. Break even. All right, my friends. I need to go to bed. Many of you might know, maybe you don't. I get up at 4:30 every morning. It's my bedtime. This is my 5th webinar today. I did 4 webinars in Stocks to Trade Pro today. 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 3:30 p.m., and 7 p.m. If you want to check, if you want 4 webinars a day, check out Stocks to Trade Pro. So, and I was in chat at 7 a.m. So, and I'll be in chat at 7 a.m. tomorrow. So, have a great night, everyone. Bull market, baby. And we will see you next week. Be sure to jump on the watch list and check out Stocks to Trade Pro. If I don't see you next week, have a Merry Christmas. Otherwise, I'll see you next Monday night. Whoops, I forgot to play the cool music almost.